being rotten, right? Right? When you think you know it all, you're right. You ever been around one of those people that go, oh, you know, been there before, done that. Been there, done that. You ever been around those kind of people, like they know everything, right? But somehow, sometimes you can be so smart, you revert to being stupid. Because you don't see the obvious, right? So I was just telling my wife all of this, and she's like, man, babe, you're fired up, right? And I'm constantly finding things to fire me up, right? I was looking at this. Check this out, right? This is going to blow you away, right? I mean, it blows me away. I was looking at this. I was looking at 1999. I was looking at, this would have been my future. The military just came out with 2014 military pay chart, right? So if I would have stayed in the Marine Corps for 26 years, which I was planning on doing, look at that, E9, $6,487. That would have been my gross pay. My retirement would have been 40% of that. You follow me on that? So in 1998, right? In 1998, when someone was telling me about this opportunity, I can make an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month and all of this stuff. So imagine this, right? So 13 years in, I only have 7 years to go to hit my 20, right? And so I walk away from a 13-year military career, and everybody tells me, hey, you're crazy to get out. Why would you get out? You only got 7 years to go, right? You got guaranteed pension, you got health, you got dental, you got security, right? It's funny now, but it wasn't funny then. I was scared to death. I was listening to these people that were telling me, and I was thinking, because everybody I knew, it wasn't normal for people to get out after 10, 11, 12, 13 years, right? And on the other side, I have my mentor that's telling me, hey, Charlier, you got to personally improve. You got to personally grow. You got to challenge yourself. You got to read books. You got to listen to tapes, right? You got to do the things that most people are not willing to do. When 3 people get up and say they're going to elite circle, the other 50 are not, you need to be the 3. You don't need to be with the pack. Because you know what happens with the pack? The pack's always broke. So get away from the pack. Don't try to be cool. Don't try to be like, well, Dan's just trying to get us excited today. He's just firing us up. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing, right? So I started listening to my leader. It wasn't flossing. His talks weren't just flossing my ears. Started taking action, right? And man, I'm so freaking grateful that I had someone that was on top of their game, right? So I looked at this. I'm looking at this. Let me see where I can find. I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, okay. I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, this is crazy, right? Because I'm recruiting this new direct. He's LAPD, right? He's been the LAPD for 6 years. And we're sitting at the cigar lounge yesterday. His name is Pete. And he says to me, he says, you know what? He said, I heard a lot of things about you, and I was on a conference call yesterday morning with Eric Lawfong and those guys. And so I'm listening to the conference call. I just came back from the gym and listening to the conference call. And this guy's sitting there, he's staring at me at the club, right? And he says to me, he says, can I talk to you for a second? I said, yeah. So I put the conference call on mute. And he says, I've been wanting to talk to you. And he says, you know, I come to this club, and there's all different types of people here. There are people that are surgeons, there are people that are attorneys, and all of this stuff. I've been with LAPD for the past 6 years, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to be there the next 20 years, right? And he's telling me about the pension fund for LA, that how LA is getting ready to go to bankrupt, and they're going to lose their pension fund. So even if he's there for 25, 30 years, he won't get a pension and all of this stuff, right? So I go into the recruiting mode, right? I go into recruiting this guy and all this stuff, right? And I start, and I have this with me, and I start showing him that if I would have followed this path, like what my future would have looked like if I followed this path. Someone sold me a dream. I got started in WFG. I believe. I didn't think that I could do it in the beginning, right? I mastered my skill set. At least I think I did, right? And I showed him. I says, look, let me just show you something. That's just the, from 11/11/2013 to 12/16/2013, right?
You can't see it.
You can't see?
Now we can. You were in the way.
Oh, I was in the way? So I showed him, I said, somebody told me that I can turn my annual income into a monthly one. And I believed them. I said, you know what the beautiful thing about that is? Whether I work or don't work, 95% of my income comes from my business. Whether I close a sale or not. Right? But you have to pay a price. So majority of my buddies retired with this, with 40%. You know why? Let me tell you why. Let me tell you what makes you different than most people. The reason that you're here right now is because you have guts. That's why you're here. But let me tell you something. You can't just be here. Does that make sense? You can't just show up. You got to get in the freaking game. Can't be too cool for school. Does that make sense? If you become too casual, you will become a casualty. That's not a joke. You will become a casualty. You'll find yourself on the freaking streets if you become too freaking casual. So you better get intense about what it is that you're doing and realize you're not too freaking far from it. If you think I'm talking to you, yes, I am. I'm talking to you. This message is for you if you think I'm talking to you. You will find yourself on the streets. So you better get serious about what it is that you're doing. You better start listening, and you better start taking action, and you better strike swiftly because you're in the fight of your life. Does that make sense? Yes. You're in the fight of your life. And if you have a challenge believing that, here's what I want you to do. One of the great things is your ability to get perspective really quick. Get yourself in a state to get perspective. Take a couple hours off, right? Drive down to a homeless shelter today. Interview a couple people there. You know what you'll find? A lot of us, we think that the homeless shelter are for homeless people. There are really good people with families that fell themselves on hard times in homeless shelters. I hope you know that. You follow me? Yeah. So here's the deal. The deal is, hey, you got to get intense about this stuff. The reason I'm showing you, I'm going to show you some stuff here, but here's the deal. If you're not applying it, if you're not doing it, if you're not hitting the phones, you're not hitting across the kitchen table, it's just a warm bath. It's just, oh my God, that was great. Oh my God, I love the way he asked that, and the objections and all of this stuff, and then you don't do nothing with it. You got to do something about it. You got to get excited about it. You got to hit the phones. Make sense? Yeah. This is the best time. This is the best time in our business, right? Okay. So let me get off my soapbox. You guys fired up? Yes. You excited? Yes. Okay, cool. So here's what I'm going to do. Can I get a table set up here? No. Do we have one already? Yeah. Okay. All right. Should have created that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump into some training real quick, right? And what I want you to do is I want you to take some notes, have some questions, and all of this stuff. So what I like to do is do I have a couple here that has not, for one reason or the other, they haven't done their financial needs analysis. They need to get it done. They haven't done their financial needs analysis. They're in a good position. They've got some money. They know they need to do it. I don't want broke people up here. They got some money. They need to do something, but they haven't done it. Do we have anybody up like that in here? Okay. All right, just want to make sure. Okay, give me a volunteer. Nobody's volunteered.
Couple.
Caldwell. I said couple. I said couple. Any couples? Any couples? I can make a couple. Yeah, come on, you two. Come on up. Give them a round of applause. Give them an applause. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, can I have a pen? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take you through. Okay, I'm gonna take you through. Okay, let me get someone that let me get a field trainer that understands the edification process. I can edify. Jimmy? James? Okay. So get a chair, Jimmy. So I'm field training Jimmy. I'm field training James. Okay. I'm field training James. And it's James, these are really good friends of yours. Okay, so we got to the house, we get to the kitchen table, and Jimmy's gonna introduce me. Okay? Which is the most important part of the presentation.
Introduce you or edify you?
Edify. Okay.
Dan, before you get started, Bernadette and Errol, I want to thank Dan up front for spending his time with me and coming out in the field with me and helping me out training with you guys. Dan is a man of character and integrity and a whole lot of stuff that I completely appreciate about him, but most of all, I appreciate him spending his time with me. Dan, thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Okay, before I get started real quick, I want to give some feedback on the edification. Okay, the edification. Here's what should happen. Okay, I'm going to give you the general feeling on the edification. Okay, so let's say I recruited Jimmy. Okay, and I said down. What's your wife's name, Jimmy? Brianna.
Yeah.
That's my daughter's name. Okay. How you know?
Because you told me that.
Okay. So let's say I sat down with James and Brianna, okay, and I did their personal financial needs analysis, right? They're excited about what I did for them, okay. So let's say, for example, James didn't have he didn't have insurance. We put insurance in place for him. He didn't have an emergency fund. We set up an emergency fund. He had no idea what the Rule 72 was. He had no idea what the high cost of waiting. He didn't have a financial game plan. Now he has a financial game plan, and he's really excited about what we did for him. You follow me on that?
Yeah.
So based on that excitement, he got started in our business on a part-time basis. Now we're sitting down with his friends, and his excitement is, he wants them to experience what him and his wife has experienced. You guys follow me on that?
Yes.
What I want you to do on the edification, I want you to keep it authentic. Okay? So, for example, like for me, when Malet sat down with me, he put all this stuff together for me, right? And I was like, oh my God, everybody needs to see this. Like, I had no idea what the Rule 72 was. I had no idea what the high cost of waiting is. I thought I had a whole bunch of life insurance, which I only had $200,000. And then I found out, once I found out the purpose of life insurance, I found out I was underinsured. I had no emergency fund set up and all of this stuff. And I thought to myself, oh my God, all of my buddies are doing the same exact thing that I'm doing. So when I sat down with Tony and Regina Stratford, and Marlette was sitting there, right? So I said, look, before we get started, Tony and Regina, first of all, I want to thank Marlette for coming out tonight. Let me tell you why. Marlette sat down with my wife and I, and you know how in the military we got a $200,000 policy? I thought it was a lot of money. But when I realized, when he taught me the purpose of life insurance, I found out that I was way underinsured, and I need to have more life insurance. The other thing I found out, I wasn't saving 10% of my income. And I realized that I need to be able to save 10%. I need to save 10% of my income in order to become financially independent. I had no emergency fund. And then Marlette showed me an opportunity where I can make an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month part-time. And I thought to myself, I said, oh my God, I need to introduce every single person I know to this guy. So he's extremely busy. And Tony, you're a really, really good friend of mine. And you have to see what Marlette is going to show you. Now, when I said that, everything I said was true. You follow me? So it wasn't something that I had to remember kind of like a script. You know how when you break the floor, it's a script? You know, and everybody go, uh-huh, uh-huh, yeah. You know, it's like that, right? It's a script, and people can kind of tell. Right? Everybody's going, uh-huh. Well, what I want you to do, you need to know the script, but you need to own it. Does that make sense? Yeah. I want you to talk your personal story. Everybody has a story, right? When you tell your story, like Marlette always says to me, he says, Charlie, he says, man, I've been hearing you tell your story for years, and man, it's the same exact thing every time. You know why? Because it's true. You follow me? I don't have to kind of like fabricate something. It's true. So here's why I'm telling you that. When Jimmy's taking me across the kitchen table, right? And let's say I'm the trainee and I'm going to edify Jimmy. If Jimmy starts telling me a script for the edification process, what's going to happen is I'm going to choke. Why? Because I'm trying to remember something. You follow me? Versus if Jimmy tells me, he says, look, you're going to share with people what we did for you and why we're sitting down with them. So now it's more authentic, and I can have that authentic, and your friends will know that. Now, the way you set the stage, with the edification will determine whether the appointment will close or not. You guys follow me on that? Yes. Remember this. The edification is the most important thing that happens. The most important thing that happens. Someone edifies me wrong, I'm climbing out of a hole. Okay? Cool. Okay, so here we go. So he edified me. He did a good job edifying me. Give Jimmy a round of applause. Okay, you guys. Well, first of all, thank you, Jimmy. Second of all, I'm so excited to meet with you guys. And in the essence of time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys, can I have permission to ask you guys some questions just so I can find out some specific details with you guys, and then we can get to who we are, what we do, and then whether we can help you or not. You mind if I ask you some questions? What's your first name, sir?
Errol.
Errol, how do you spell that?
E-R-R-O-L.
E-R-R-O-L. Okay, what's your first name, man?
Bernadette.
Bernadette. Okay, Errol, what do you do?
I'm a plant manager with LA Unified School District.
Oh, cool. You're a manager there?
Yes.
Okay. That's cool. What about you, Bernadette? You're a business manager? Really? I didn't know that. So you manage everyone's bills and pay their debts and all of that stuff? That's pretty cool. What's that?
Elementary.
At an elementary school? You do that for the students or the teachers?
The parents of the school.
For the parents of the school?
Yeah.
Oh, I never heard that. Oh, that's cool. So, Errol, what do you like about your current career, what you're currently doing?
Right now, I'm getting fed up with it. There's a lot of changes with the economy, how things have
Do you
changed.
like anything?
I did like with it.
Because you went to straight don't like.
I did like it when I first started. But
Okay.
over the years, it just kind of went sour on me because of all of the budget cuts.
Oh, really?
In the district, and the workload just got unbearable.
Oh, wow. So basically, you're doing more work with the same pay.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. And how does that make you feel?
Kind of upset.
Okay. What about you, Bernadette? What do you like about what you're currently doing?
people I work with.
Just the people that
Not
you
all
work
of them,
with?
but most of them.
Okay, okay, okay. So you like the people that you work with? Okay. What do you dislike about it?
Some of the politics.
Oh, the politics? Okay. Now let me ask you a question. Are you guys earning enough money to achieve the goals that you guys have for your family?
I don't think so.
Okay. Is that a
No.
no or a
It
yes?
could,
No,
it
it's a
could
no.
be better.
It's a no? Okay. It's an uncomfortable no, huh?
Yes.
All right. Okay. What's important in your life right now? You know, at this stage in your life, is it your health? Is it home? Is it cars, legacy? You guys want to travel? What are the things that are important to you guys right now?
I'd say family.
Family?
Yeah.
What about family that's important to you guys? You guys want to spend more time with your family? You want to travel more with your family? What do you want to do?
I guess it would be for me. I guess it would be just making sure I'm a kind of a take care of people, making sure everybody is okay. As for kids, well, adults, okay,
Okay.
kids, and they're not independent. And so
Okay.
that we have two moms, our dads are gone, but two moms, we just want to make sure things are okay.
You want to be able to provide for your family. So you guys want to be the to-go person in your family.
Yes and no.
Yeah. No, yes and no, huh? That's a double-edged sword. That's a double-edged sword. Yeah, okay, okay. What else? What else that you guys want to achieve? What else is important to you guys? You guys like to travel? Are you
Yeah, I like to travel. I guess my forte is a little more expensive taste than what my wife is more accustomed to. So
Okay. So you like to travel?
Yes.
When was the last time you guys went on a dream vacation?
It's been a while.
What's a while?
Probably
a year, 6 months?
Probably about 6 years.
6 years?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
They're on vacation, we're not drinking.
Oh, okay. Okay. What are some important goals and dreams that you guys have that cost money? Have you thought about that lately? Okay.
I'd like to pay off my house like today.
You like to pay off your house? Okay. How would that make you feel if you were able to pay your house?
That'd be a huge relief.
Huge relief. That's awesome. Okay. What else?
I think I would want to move.
You want to move?
Yeah.
She wants to pay off the house. You want to move? Huh?
Yeah. The house that we have now, I think that would kind of work twofold because the value on the house that we have now, if we kind of downsize a little bit with what we have, we probably can pay the next home off.
Okay. Where would you move to?
That's something that we're in the process of trying to figure out at this time.
Someplace warmer? Okay. What else?
I like to get my dream car, which is a Corvette.
Oh, wow. Corvette. Okay. They just came out with a new car, too. Huh?
I know, the Stingray.
The Stingray. Yeah, wow. Wow, that's awesome. What else?
I like a smaller car, but it doesn't have to be, and I don't have.
You're more conservative, huh?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Yeah, that's...
I told you we'd be different.
Okay, what else? Anything else?
Be able to live comfortably, not having to worry about bills or anything like that. Just be able to, whenever you want to, just get up and say take a trip or be able to do stuff, to be comfortable enough to say, okay, let's go do it.
Good. Okay, so you want to be able to live comfortably. All right. Okay, how much money you think you need to earn to live the life that you just described? For you to be able to pay off your house and put yourself in a position where you can move, be in a position where you can get your Corvette, be in a position where if something happened with the family that you can actually take care of the family if someone needs it. You'll be able to get your smaller car and then not be underneath the financial pressure that you guys are in. What do you think that number is? You think $10,000 a month, $15,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $5,000 a month? that be that number for you guys?
Yeah, 20 a month sounds nice.
20,000 a month. Okay. Bernadette.
To be able to pay off somehow, but monthly.
Yeah. What do you think that number would be for you guys?
I don't know if I'd go 20.
Do you think you go higher or
No,
lower?
I think I'd go lower.
You go lower. You're more conservative. All right, 20. So we'll go. We say 15.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay, 15,000 a month. Now let me ask you this. I want you to think about this. Are you in a position right now where, when you look at your job, you say, you know, at this point, I'll be able to make $15,000 a month? When would that happen at your job? Is that realistic?
Nope.
No. Same thing for me. I was in the Marine Corps. I mean, I could have stayed in the Marine Corps for 30 years. I would have never been in a position to do that. Okay. So never. Now let me ask you. I want you to think about this question. Okay. If your job and profession won't allow you to realize your dream life, what's more important to you? Staying in your job or profession, or leading your ideal life?
I would say leading my ideal life.
You agree? Okay. Now, if I could show you a way to earn additional income, would you take advantage of it?
Yes.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, real quick, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my personal story, and also, as I speak to you, I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. Okay. The first question I want you to ask yourself: is it a credible company? Okay, it's a very, very important question. The second question I want you to ask yourself is that, do you believe that these financial concepts can provide individuals with life-changing solutions? So we're going to talk about some financial concepts, right? And I want you, as we're talking about these financial concepts, I want you to think about everyone you know that needs to see this information, okay? And the last thing I want you to, the last question is, who do you care about that would benefit from meeting us, okay? And then I want you to write down those names of people that, as you're sitting there, you're going to go, oh my God, my girlfriend so-and-so needs to see this, or my friend so-and-so, or my mom, or my dad, and all of these names are going to come up to your mind, okay? I was in the Marine Corps for 13 years. I grew up in Brooklyn. I was born in Haiti. I spent 5 years of special duty in the Marine Corps. My original job in the military was aircraft rescue. I was a firefighter. And in 1998, someone sat down with me, you know, just as I'm sitting down with you guys, and I had some goals. You know, I wanted to be able to retire. I wanted to be able to get financially independent, and for me, I had 13 years in, and once I did 20 years in the Marine Corps, the military would tell me that, you know, they would give me 40% of my base pay to retire. And when someone sat down with me and they put a financial game plan together for me, it wasn't till I realized that mathematically it was impossible for me to achieve financial independence, just because I wasn't making enough money. You follow me? And not only I wasn't making enough money, no one has ever explained to me the financial concepts that I'm going to share with you guys. Okay? So let's start off with. This is going to be really quick. It's not going to take a long time. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about our company first. Have you ever heard of Aegon? Have you heard of WFG?
No.
Okay. Have you heard of Transamerica?
Yes.
Okay. So Aegon is our parent company. Okay. Aegon's a $543 billion company traded on 6 different exchanges. Okay. They're in the Netherlands. Aegon owns Transamerica. They bought Transamerica in 2001. They wrote a check for $11 billion and bought the company cash. And Aegon also owns World Financial Group. So that's who we are as a company. Okay, a pretty big company. We're licensed to do business in all 50 states, including Canada, Puerto Rico, and China. Okay, and most people recognize us because we're part of the Transamerica brand. Okay, so is that a pretty solid, credible company?
Yeah.
In 2008, Forbes magazine did an article where they talked about the top 2,000 leading companies in the world. Aegon placed in the top 100, and as far as assets, they placed in the top 50. Okay, so pretty strong company. So we have a powerful business platform, and World Financial Group is in a multi-trillion-dollar industry, which is the financial service industry. The financial service industry is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. Okay, and is backed by a multi-billion-dollar company. When they say multi-billion-dollar company, they're talking about Aegon. Aegon's a $543 billion company. Okay, and so we're in the United States. Some of the companies that we have access to their products that we're able to do business with, we have licensing agreements with over 1,000 different life insurance companies. Okay, we also have a broker dealer by the name of Transamerican Financial Advisors, where we help families with 401ks, 403bs, IRAs, deferred comps, and things of that nature. Okay, if you look at here, our goal is to become the largest financial service marketing company in the U.S. Pretty big goal. Our mission statement as a company is to help people around the world achieve financial independence with a cause of no family left behind. So we focus on the 80% of the population, which is the middle class. We can also help the affluent, the rich, but our focus is on the 80% of the population. So one of the things that we focus on when we sit down with families is we focus on educating families and then identify what is it that they're trying to achieve, and then we're gonna bring the financial solutions to those families. So now let's talk about some financial concepts. You guys ever heard of the Rule 72?
No, I haven't.
Okay. The Rule 72 was actually, Albert Einstein, you guys know who Albert Einstein is, right? Albert Einstein said the Rule 72 was the 8th wonder of the world to show how powerful compound interest is. Okay? So for example, let's say you were 29 years old and you had $10,000 and you walked into my bank and I said, look, if you put your $10,000 into a savings account with us or a money market account, we're going to give you a 4% rate of return. What you want to know is what exactly does that mean? Well, what it means is that if you divide 72 into 4, it gives you 18. So what it means is that from 29 to 47, your $10,000 will compound to 20. From 47 to 65, your $20,000 will compound to 40,000. You guys follow me on that?
Yes.
Now, if it's going to take you 18 years for your money to compound, would you agree with me that you're going to need a lot of time?
Yes.
You follow me? Now, for example, the banks and insurance companies are investors, right? So they understand how to get your money and make a lot of money on your money, and the least amount of money they can give you, that's part of the game plan, right? So if I was to ask you a question, do you want to put your money in the bank, or would you like to put your money where the bank puts their money?
Like the bank put their money.
Where the banks put their money. It's pretty smart. So if I position myself where I can get a 12% rate of return or an 8% rate of return, once again, I know the Rule 72. I divide 72 into 12, it gives me 6. Now my money's doubling every 6 years. So 10, 20, 40, 80, 160, 320, 640. You follow me on that? When I first saw that, I could not believe I was 33 years old and I've never seen this before. The bankers call it the banker's rule. The accounts call it the accounts rule. The problem is I was making $35,000 a year. When you're making $35,000 a year, you don't have a banker, you don't have an accountant. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's why I didn't know the rule. The other concept I'm going to show you is a very simple concept. But what I found out is the simplest things in life are the most powerful things in life. We teach families to pay yourself first, which means that, let's say combined income, you guys are making $7,000 a month. So what I'm going to show you how to do is take 10% of whatever you make, create a habit of saving that first. What we do most of the time is we make our money, then we have all of our liabilities, our cars, our homes, and we pay everything off, and at the end we go, I don't have any money left. You follow me? So we're going to switch that mindset to paying yourself first, and we'll show you how to do that. The other thing is the number one enemy for you to become financially independent and achieving your goals is not making a decision. A decision is the biggest thing that we have to do because it's what we call the high cost of waiting. It's what we call procrastination, the worst nation to live on. So at 25, and it's amazing because in every decade in our lives, we have these different stories that we create and we have these different excuses, right? So at 25, we're just getting started, right? Not making enough money yet. We're just getting started. Next thing you know, we're 40. We got a house payment, right? Kids, and we just don't have anything left to save. Next thing you know, we're 50. As soon as the kids are out of school, we'll be able to save for retirement. Next thing you know, we're 60. Our expenses are too high. We don't have any money saved. So the Census Bureau did a report. They said 73.8% of Americans retire in poverty. 3 out of 4 families retire with less than $10,000 a year to live on, less than $833 a month. So here's the solution. Everybody can point out the problem, but here's the solution. Okay? The solution is we do a financial needs analysis, like what we did for James and Brianna, and we're going to do for you guys. And we do a financial needs analysis complimentary for free. Okay, we don't charge you for that. Okay, but there's a lot of value in the financial needs analysis. Most companies charge you $500 to $1,500. That's just to sit down and have this conversation. What we believe is that if we can educate families across the kitchen table and they're excited about what we did for them, they will naturally let everyone else they know what we were able to do for them. We don't advertise. You follow me on that? Mm-hmm. We just believe in doing a great job for a family, and they naturally tell everyone that they know. Okay, so there's 6 different areas the financial needs analysis cover. The first area is cash flow. Some families, they want to earn additional income. They want to manage their expenses. Like you guys said that you guys want to make additional income. We're going to talk about that once we finish your financial needs analysis. I'm going to show you that portion. Okay. Some families, debt is an issue. They need to have a game plan to get out of debt. Other families, they need to have an emergency fund set up. Other families, insurance. They don't know the difference between you have term, universal, whole, variable, equity. There's 5 different types of life insurance. They might have a life insurance policy. They don't really understand how it works. They might have a mutual fund. They don't really understand how it works. They've got all these different things, but no one has ever sat down with them and actually design a specific game plan for them. Asset accumulation. Showing you how to outpace inflation. Well, Dan, how do I get a 2% rate of return? How do I get a 5%? How do I get a 7%? What's the tax strategies? No one has ever showed them any of that stuff, right? So we're able to show them the rules. We're able to show them how everything works because we don't represent any individual company. And the end part of it is estate taxes, reduce estate taxes, and build a family legacy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to gather some information from you guys. Do you guys have any life insurance policies or any mutual funds or anything like that? You do? Okay, can you get it?
Okay.
All right, and at that point they'll go out and get it and bring it back to me. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you some questions. And okay, so she came back. She brought her life insurance policies and all this stuff, right? And I want to keep that with me. Okay, what do you guys have in mutual funds?
No mutual funds at this time. Well, yeah, I have an IRA.
You have an IRA?
Yes.
Okay, you have any naked mutual funds? You know what I mean by naked? It's not in any type of shelter.
No.
No. Okay. What do you have? Do you guys have any individual stocks?
No.
Okay. Do you guys have a checking account or a savings account?
No.
Okay. Okay. What do you keep in your savings account? How much? 20,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have.
Yeah. No, there's more, but that's okay. That's good.
No. Tell me the real number. What do you keep in there?
Probably like 30.
Okay. So you keep 30,000 in your savings account. Okay. What about your checking account?
Yeah, probably about 1,000.
Okay, you keep $1,000 in your checking account. And who do you bank with?
Chase Bank.
Chase Bank. And then do you guys have actual personal checks?
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys have any bonds?
No bonds.
No. What about 401ks? Do you guys have any 401k?
Yeah. You want that?
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
pension
that's-
with LA Unified.
Okay, you have a pension, and are you currently contributing to it?
Yes.
Okay, what's your balance? You know?
No, I don't know.
Do you have that statement?
Yes, I do.
Okay, can you get me that statement? Okay, perfect. What do you contribute? You know what you contribute to it? Have you ever looked on your checks? You know what you contribute to it?
133 a month.
133 a month?
Yes.
Okay. What about yourself?
About 4.
You have a 403B? Is that with the company that you're currently with? Okay. Do you know what your balance is in that?
Yeah, about 11.
11,000? Okay. Okay. You have anything else? Any
Yes,
other?
I have a pension.
You have a pension? Okay. What do you contribute to that?
I think it's like 2%.
What is
I
it?
think it's like 2%.
2%?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Do you know the dollar amount?
Not offhand.
Not offhand? Okay. Any IRAs?
I have an IRA account through Transamerica.
You have an IRA account to Transamerica? What kind of an account is it? Do you know?
Yes, and then annuity.
How long have you had it?
Right about a year.
A year?
Yes.
Do you have the statement for that?
Yes, I do.
Can you get me that statement too? Okay, perfect. Okay. Any saving bonds?
No.
Okay. You guys have a Roth IRA?
No.
You have any cash value life insurance?
No.
No? Okay. Are you guys renting or do you own your home?
Well, buying. I don't say you own it until you pay.
Right, I get it. Trust me, I get that. So do you guys have a loan on the house or
Yes, we do.
you do? Okay, who is your lender?
Oh,
Wells Fargo. And what's the balance?
about 195.
Current payment?
15.
1,500? Okay. Do you guys have any auto loans?
Oh,
No.
Yes.
Okay. And what do you have?
It's with, who is it with?
Yeah.
It's with, Schools First.
Okay. And what's the balance?
Oh, 14.
14?
Mhm.
14,000?
Yes.
Okay. And what do you guys paying monthly?
300.
3,000? 300. Okay.
3,000.
Okay. Do you guys got any credit card debt over 10,000?
No.
Any personal loans?
No.
Any student loans?
No.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna go over your expenses really quick. Okay. What do you guys spend on auto and transportation? As far as fuel, insurance, what do you spend on fuel on a monthly basis?
It's probably about $400.
About 400.
Yeah.
Okay. And I go through the expenses. I'm gonna speed that up a little bit. I go through the expenses. Okay. What's your current income?
For me, a monthly, it's about 3,100.
3,100. Okay. What about yourself, Carol?
It's roughly the same.
3,100. Okay. Do you guys have any other income? Do you have any rental income? Do you have anything else coming in?
Nope.
Okay. Okay. All right. You guys work for LA Unified School District.
He works for LA.
You work for LA. What do you do?
I work for a diocese assembly.
Oh, okay. So you work more with private sector.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I do have your address. I've got your phone number. Okay. All right. Let me ask you guys. Okay. How do you feel about your current plan for retirement? No. Okay. At what age would you like to be in a position where you're financially independent, you know, how you mentioned that you wanted to be financially stable. You want to do that 65, you want to do that at age 70, what age?
Now.
You want to do it now, right? That's what most people say. That's what most people say. Yeah. 70? 65?
Yeah.
65? 60?
60.
60? Okay, let me ask you this. I want you to think of three numbers when I ask you this. How much money do you think you could save on a monthly basis? You think you could save combined? You think you could save $50 a week, $100 a week, $200 a week? What do you think you could save on a monthly basis? To be combined. Minimum.
Probably a week.
Oh, a week?
Yeah. So probably like
$200 a week?
Yeah, off the top of my head, yeah.
Okay, so you think you could save $800 a month?
Probably.
Okay. What's the minimum you think you could save a week?
Probably like
100?
100.
So minimum maybe about 400? And what would be the maximum you think you could save on a weekly basis? Like if you really got focused and you guys really got dedicated, what do you think you could save maximum?
I would do that 8.
That 8?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what would be a little stretch for you?
The 8 is perfect.
No, I'm saying let's say the 400 is the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
What would be like a medium for you?
So
Maybe about 6. So minimum you think you can save, no brainer, you don't have to think about it, is $400 a month. Maximum with your current income would be about 800, 600 will be a little uncomfortable, but you can do it. Is that right? Okay, let me ask you a question. From a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how motivated are you to become financially independent and debt free? 10? Really? Okay. So if I could put a plan together for you, okay, and obviously you guys would be the sole judge of that plan, okay? Would you guys have any challenges at all becoming my client?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I got all your statements here. Today is Saturday. What's the earliest that I can get back together with you guys within the next 48 hours?
Monday.
Monday? What would be a good time on Monday? About 6? Okay, can I get a copy of all your statements? Because I want to take it with me. I want to do a little bit of work. When I come back on Monday, I just kind of want to premise the appointment on Monday. When I come back on Monday, I kind of already know what needs to be done because I've sat down with so many families, so it's not rocket science. You guys have some good stuff going on. First of all, you have an income coming in. That's good. You have a current life insurance policy, so that's good. I'm going to take a look at it. You have an IRA already. You have some money saved. You've got some money in your checking account. So you guys got some good stuff going on. We're just going to look at if some of it could be repositioned, and we're going to look at some of the vehicles that are available right now that weren't available 5, 10, 15 years ago. Okay? And then remember, the most important thing we're going to do is we're going to take action. So I'm going to come back with a specific action game plan on exactly what you need to do to go to the next level. And in order for us to implement that plan, you're probably going to write a check. Okay? And that check will be anywhere between 400, 600, 800, somewhere between that. I'm going to think about it, but I'll bring the best product to the table. Are you guys comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I look forward. One of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to do a lot of work. figuring this out. Okay, my job is to put your plan together. I'm going to do it complimentary for free. I'm not going to charge you anything for that. Okay, what I want you thinking about is that I want you thinking about everyone that you know that needs to have this experience. Follow me? They need to have a personal plan. Not that they need to buy anything, but they need to have a personal plan. Every single person you know needs to see this. Okay? So we'll start out with people that you know locally, people that you have a lot of credibility with. And your homework, my homework is to put this together for you. Your homework is to refer us to 10 people that we can help the same way that we helped you. Make sense? So when I come back on Monday, here's going to be the exchange. The exchange is I'm going to provide you with a financial needs analysis with the answers of everything you're trying to do, and you're going to provide me with other families that we can help, just like we helped you. Okay? All right. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Sounds pretty fair at this point.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday. All right. Give them a round of applause. So let's open that up for questions. All right, Steve.
My first question is, in watching you go through the financial needs analysis, I kind of marked off where you started on the financial needs analysis in each of the sessions, because sometimes I have an issue of jumping around with this,
Got it.
and I'm looking at your psychology of doing it.
What's the question?
But I also noticed that you did not do certain sections like the goals and dreams.
Okay.
You didn't add that, and you did.
What's your question?
Well, why not?
Okay. When did I do the goals and dreams?
TRC.
Were you paying attention?
I did the TRC. I have that, but here that's.
I already have all those answers.
Okay.
Here you go, you guys. Keep it simple. Get to the point. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
A lot of you do a lot of stuff, but you know what you don't do? Close. Does that make sense? Where was the first place I went to?
TRC.
Okay, we're done with the TRC. Where was the first place I went to? Why?
You want to know if you got a deal?
Why did I go there, Neil?
Because at that point in time, you determine if you're going to flip it to a one-on-one or if you're going to stay and do it. You need to know
Right.
if you got some money. If they ain't got no money, you don't need to do it.
Right, to see if they can write a check. Listen, you guys, where's my loan brokers? All my guys that do loans. I used to do loans. Okay? When you sit down, when you take a 1003, what are you looking for?
Can they afford it?
What's that? Money in, money out. Right? You're looking at the 1003 going, do I have a deal? Does that make sense? So when I'm looking at the financial needs analysis, I'm doing the same thing. That's why I go straight to the assets. I want to know what they have. What am I working with? Okay, do you have any money in the bank? Do you have a bank account? Can you write a check? Do you have an IRA, 401k? Do you have life insurance policy? All of this stuff. I'm seeing what I'm working with. Right? So sometimes I'm not working with that much. It's not rocket science. You need to pay yourself first, right? You need to save some money. Sometimes I might be working with, you know what? They got a 401k. They're no longer with that company. They got $500,000 sitting in a 401k dormant. They got a life insurance policy here, right? Notice I asked, get me your policy. Why? Because most people don't know what they have. Does that make sense? So they could be talking, telling me what they have till I get it. Why else do I tell them, go get me your policy? What's that? Show me a level of commitment. If they go get their policy and bring it to me, they trust me. You guys follow me on that?
Yes.
I automatically assume that they trust me. You know why? Because of the edification. The only time they wouldn't trust me is if the person that I'm field training does not have credibility and they don't trust that person.
One thing I just sat down with a client last week. They told me they had $250,000 worth of life insurance. I get their policy, it's accidental death.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys heard the story. On the SMD call with John Shen, right? He called to schedule an appointment to field train to help this lady. She says she's actually fine. She's got a policy, right? A couple weeks later, she told him she had $1 million policy. A couple weeks later, her husband dies, and she's trying to call the insurance company to collect the claims. So she calls John, right? Tells her that she's having trouble. John asks for the policy. When he looks at the policy, she had an accidental death policy, right? So sometimes people tell you they have certain things, but they don't understand what they have. So I want to get a copy of everything that they have, and I don't attack what they have. If they have a policy, I'll ask them, how do you understand what you currently have? You follow me? And a lot of times they don't understand it because no one ever explained to them. They just got sold a policy. So I want to get all that information, right? And then what else?
If you're sitting down with a trainer, but it's not the person who did your financial need analysis, would you just say what the company was able to do for you?
Yeah. I would do that. What else?
And one thing we didn't talk about was in the lead-in is building rapport. And even before we get to the trust respect customized questionnaire, we should spend a little bit of time once you're edified, just getting acquainted and talking a little bit about the things that are important to them, that interest them. Maybe you see some things you have in common, and you talk about those things. People, after you've been there for 20 minutes, they ought to feel like they know you.
Right.
You know? And if they do that, you're going to have a very high chance of success.
Yeah. That's extremely, extremely important. The minute that you walk into someone's home, look at the walls, you do all of that stuff, and you build rapport. You build rapport with them. That's extremely, extremely important. I like to build rapport as I'm doing the Trust, Respect, Customized worksheet because it opens them up. They start talking different things, and then we warm up it from that aspect.
I just want to touch on that. My older brother, he's an accountant, and when I called him up to set up the appointment, I'm sure some people have seen this, with a trainer of theirs. He was a little bit standoffish with me, but he was willing to do the appointment. Neil came with me, and from the time he walked in the door, he was building rapport. So for the next 15 minutes, by that time they were done, he was comfortable with them. He sat down, and those walls just came completely down.
There you go. Good.
One thing I like to get the team to pay attention to is when you ask Bernadette and Errol how much money could they save on a weekly basis. Bernadette hesitated, and they thought about it a minute. I get excited when a client does that because that means they're serious.
Right.
When somebody just blurts stuff out sometimes, but the fact that they sat there and looked at each other, that's a serious client right in front of you.
And then you'll see too when you ask a commitment on a weekly basis, I always give numbers to help people out because most people think we like to think very simple. So I always give you multiple choice, 2, 4, 6, 8, or whatever the number is, and then so that way they can pick out whatever that number is. And you have to pay attention to the person that you're sitting down with. You'll see where that's a little far-fetched, and then they'll come down with the numbers and you'll actually get the real numbers. Okay? What else?
What would you do if they don't know where their statements are, or if you're not in their house and say you meet somewhere else?
Oh, that's okay. I mean, sometimes people don't have their statements currently then and there. I'll just ask them, to find your statements if you can find them, or you can call the company. You can find it online, and have those when I come back. Sometimes people don't have their statements right then and there.
You can pre-frame that too before the actual appointment.
Yeah, it depends on how much credibility. It depends on how much credibility, how warm the appointment is. I've done appointments the minute that I got to the kitchen table, they already had all their policies, all their statements, everything right there. Right? Now, here's what I want you to think about. I want you to remain flexible. Does that make sense? Remain flexible across the kitchen table. You don't have to be so rigid. Rigid things break, right? Be flexible like water. We might do 10 appointments together, and all 10, we're going over the same information, but all 10 might be different because we're dealing with different types of people. Some people are action people. Like if you sit down with me, I'm an action type of person. I think get to the point. You follow me? I like you. I trust you. Tell me exactly. It pisses me off like when I go shopping. It just pisses me off. I don't like people asking me stupid questions. Right? Imagine that. Imagine you go to Nordstrom's. Like I'm getting ready to go to Hawaii. Right? If I go to Nordstrom's now and I'm getting ready to go to Hawaii, what am I looking for? Shorts. Probably looking for some beach wear. Right? Well, if I walk in Nordstrom's and the hotshot sales guy comes over and goes, "Hey, how you doing? My name is so-and-so. What's your name?" My name's Dan Charlier. Dan, today's your lucky day. Today, we have sales on a tuxedo. Come on over to the tuxedo shop. What do you think I'm thinking about? I don't care about your sales on tuxedo. I'm not looking for a tuxedo. You know what the sales guy didn't say? How can I help you? If he would have just said, "How can I help you?" he would have found out I'm going to Hawaii. And I'm looking for some shorts and some Bahama shirts. But because he didn't ask, he automatically assumed, right? Guess what I do?
Walk out.
I cut him off. Right? So what do we do when we go across the kitchen table? We do the same exact thing. You follow me? That's why we ask all those questions.
I thought it was interesting. James was great across the kitchen table, but he was watching you, and as a trainee, as somebody who was honing his skills, he was writing down notes.
Yeah. Good job, James. School's in session.
And afterwards, you would debrief.
Yeah. Okay. And then so before I left, before we were done, right? What did we do? We got a $1 commitment. We got a commitment to do business. We asked for the sale. We didn't leave that up to chance. Now, that's where, right? That's where it takes 2 minutes. Oh, okay. That's where it's going to take a little bit of guts. That's where most people get afraid, right? Ask for the sale. And then also not only ask for the sale, but demand referrals. Referrals are the lifeblood of your business. Don't be afraid to walk away from something. Does that make sense? If I sit down with someone and there's too much friction, right? I'd rather be the one that walk away from it. If I ask them, I said, "Let me ask you guys a question from a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the highest, how motivated are you guys to become financially independent and debt-free?" Oh, to be honest with you, we're not motivated at all. We believe in spending everything we got. When I die, I don't want to leave nobody nothing. Man, you know what? That's incredible. That's incredible that you feel that way. But obviously tonight, you saw some great concepts, didn't you? You learned the Rule 72. I mean, you don't want to apply it, but you learned it. Yeah. You learned the high cost of waiting. You don't want to apply it, but you learned it. Yeah, that's pretty cool stuff, isn't it? It's a credible company. You really, really like Ryan and you want to help him. Let me ask you a question. Who do you know that needs to see this information? Because obviously you see a lot of value in it. Oh, you know what? My cousin so-and-so's always talking about saving money. You probably need to sit down with him. Oh, really? What's his name and number? Matter of fact, do you have that on your cell phone now? Yeah. Can we call him right now? Yeah, okay. Hey, cuz, this is so-and-so. Hey, you know you always talking about saving money. I got someone right here you need to talk to. Bam! How you doing, my friend? Oh, man. Your uncle's been telling me so many great things about you. When's a good time that I can sit down and visit with you? I've got 2 openings in my schedule. Boom, I booked the appointment. You know what most of us do? We sit there and we fight with this guy. No, you shouldn't feel that way. You got to start saving money and you start making statements. Get them or their market. Does that make sense? Get them or their market. Same thing with recruiting. I'm looking for people that are looking for me, and I want to help people that want my help. Does that make sense? If they don't want my help, that's totally okay. But they might know someone that want my help. I get them to refer me. Make sense? Then it's very easy. Then it's fun. You don't have a whole bunch of pressure on you. You follow me? I don't put a lot of pressure on me. So I don't have to do all of this stuff. I don't have to be all bottled in. The kitchen table is fun because I'm there to help them. What about if they ask me a question that I don't know? What's that? Okay, yeah. If somebody doesn't ask, listen, you guys, there's going to be tons of questions that you don't know. This is a very, very, very big industry. Do you guys know what a captive insurance? You know what captive insurance is?
Yeah.
Who knows what it is? Who can tell me what it is? Tell me what it is.
Captive is when an agent can just sell for that one agency.
Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. You know what captive insurance is? No, that's not what I'm talking about.
I was thinking of kind of what Bill said. It's a company where you can offer only their product and not like we.
That's not what it is. That's not what it is. Google it. Google it. Who can find out what captive insurance is? What's that?
He made a joke.
See, you guys got access to technology. You guys are sitting there burning your brains. I'm surprised nobody went on Google, boom, pull it up, bam. I know what it is. Who can tell me? Who can jump on Google and tell me real quick?
You're talking life insurance?
No, not what you're guessing. Who can jump on Google and tell me real quick? I want to hear those guess.
Captive insurance companies.
Stand up.
Captive insurance companies are insurance companies established with the specific objective of insuring risks emanating from their parent group or groups, but they sometimes also insure risks of the group's customers. This is an alternative form of risk management that has become a more practical and popular means through which companies can protect themselves financially while having more control over how they are insured.
Okay, so I didn't know that. So I was on an appointment last week with a big company.
Reinsurance is what it mentions here.
Yeah, so I didn't know that. So the CFO of the company started talking about captive insurance, that they were looking at doing a captive insurance and all this stuff. And I had no idea what that was, right? So I was on the appointment with Reg Wilson, right? So Reg is talking about captive insurance. So I had no idea. So I had my phone there. I read, and I put it down. And I put my phone over, just like I was just checking text. Next thing you know, I jumped in the conversation about captive insurance. Right? My point that I'm making to you guys, there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that you find out. You learn about discovering across the kitchen table. You're going to be able to do research and all of that stuff. Does that make sense? But the learning is in the doing. You follow me on that? So here's the deal. The great separators, if you have a guess, get your guess. The great separators are those of us that take action. Okay? So, gotta make phone calls, get across the kitchen table. The edification must be done right. Right? Gather the information. You got your dollar commitment, right? You're good at closing on setting up the appointments. And then boom, there it is.
Now let's say you're looking at the numbers, they don't really make that much sense. You know, the person may figure out to your trainee that they were doing better than they are.
Which that happens with most people.
And so you want to transition into recruiting.
I'm going to recruit this couple regardless. Does that make sense? But I'm going to do their financial needs analysis first. I'm going to close them first, right? Because we recruit by day and we sell by night. Does that make sense? So my focus when I'm sitting across the kitchen table, right, is that we're doing an app. We're going to write an app. Once we're done with the app, boom, I go into recruiting mode. Make sense? I invite them to the BPM or whatever the case may be. But if I go across the kitchen table to sit down with them to do their financial needs analysis, that's my objective, their financial needs analysis. I don't mix it all up.
Do you recruit right then and there, or when you come back to the second appointment?
No, once I'm done with the second appointment and I close them, I wrap it all up, boom, I go into the recruiting.
Edification. What if you're not with us?
What's that?
You didn't go on an appointment with the trainer.
You didn't go to the appointment. How did you get the appointment?
So I got a friend that said,
So you're going to sit down with your friend.
or a friend that says, hey, you need to talk to my brother.
You need to talk to my.
Talk about but I don't have someone sitting there to edify me.
You just use third party. Just tell them the story. Just tell them what happened. You know, so and so asked me to sit down with you. Here's the reason why. You know, obviously he's working tonight and he can't be here, but we were able to sit down with his family and here's what we did. And based on what we were able to do for him, he wanted me to sit down with some of the people that he cares the most about, which is why I'm here. How can I help? Boom. Just use common sense. Cool? Any questions? Comments, statements? Nothing?
The comments.
When you're doing the TRC, do you always, no matter what, ask if I could show you an opportunity?
Of course. Every single question on the TRC is there for a reason. You can't be scared because your identity, you're scared. Oh, I don't want to ask them how much money it's going to take for them to achieve. Just ask the question. Every single question I ask.
You always fill it out in front of them, or just you've done it so many times that.
You know what? Half the time when it looks like I'm filling it out, I'm just scratching up. I don't really fill it out. It looks like I'm writing, but actually I'm not.
Sometimes when you're on an interview, like, even if you're they're higher identity and so forth, then you just got to be, like you said, flexible. Because I had a client off of a referral that I was going through the TRC, and they asked me, "Oh, are you asking these questions so that way for us to do what you do?" And I said, "That's not what I want to do. That's exactly what I want to do."
Well, if you get into that one, if you get to a point, just give you an idea, if you get to a point where the client starts to challenge you and all, there's a lot of things wrong there. One, there's no credibility. Two, the edification wasn't done right. And three, you're probably going to have a hard time doing the whole appointment. You have to set the stage right from the beginning. If the stage is not set right from the beginning, like I never have clients do that. If the stage is set, the person is like really excited about you sitting down with them. If they start I don't want to go over this information. No, I don't want to give you my information. There's no credibility there. You're wasting your time. Yeah, I don't take it personally. Be next. Get the referrals. Try to never put your position in a way where you're going back and forth with a client or you're fighting with a client because you're not going to win. You're going to lose. Okay?
I just wanted to add when you said
it's like getting into a fight with your wife. You know what I mean? You might be right, but you're going to lose. Does that make sense? So do you want to be right or you want to be happy? Does that make sense? Go ahead. What was your question?
No, I just wanted to make a comment on your text. You said confused people don't buy. That went along with keeping it simple.
Confused people don't buy.
I caught a little thing, which was when you asked them how much would you need to earn to reach your dreams. I always ask annually, and you change it to monthly, and that makes more sense because people think more in terms of their monthly income and monthly budget.
Yeah.
So it's a little thing.
It's simpler when you think, $50 a week, $100 a week, $200 a week. That's very simple to think about. What else? Anything else? Okay. Great separator is your ability to take action. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't let the bill collector chase you. Cool?
All right.
Thank you.